afternoon, everyone. I can't believe it's afternoon, but it is. Good afternoon. Welcome to Toad TV. I am Mary Beth.
I am Helen.
We are the creative hands and minds behind Toad Hollow, and today we are here to talk to you about what we've been working on over the past week. So we have
changed locations.
Yes, we are in the sewing room today because we sewed over the weekend, yesterday actually, but we actually turned on the sewing machines for the first time in what?
Very long time.
5 weeks, 6 weeks. Yeah. It's been a really long time since we've been
I turned it
here.
on and I'm like, oh good, it works.
So it's very, very good. And they worked beautifully.
Yeah.
We're going to show you what we sewed. It was really kind of exciting, and it was really great that we did it, got the project done, or what we wanted to get done, and showed that we could do it easily.
Right.
So you will understand.
Moving forward, it becomes a little bit easier.
Right. So. And we get very excited about moving forward.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's talk admin first.
Okay.
All right. We have a couple of things with yarn. Just a quick reminder, November's yarns for the November clubs are going to be retired at the end of this month, as in tomorrow. So if you haven't gotten them yet, today and tomorrow, the last 2 days, you can pre-order. Right. We will have 1 or 2 of each color available, but that is it. We're not going to be ordering, or we're not going to be dyeing it again. So whatever we have will be whatever was extra in the pan.
Right.
Doing it. So we have the Denizen was Phineas the Deer.
It's a blue, gray, brown, heavy speckle.
The Disney was Peter Pan. And the favorite books was Winter Solstice. So those 3, after tomorrow, you will not be able to pre-order them. Whatever we have in stock will be the only things we have left.
So if you were looking for one of the like sweater, bulky, or 100%, the bases that we don't normally stock, we only do those on pre-orders. Grab yours now because it'll be either sock or DK that is available.
Right.
At the end.
Okay. Starting on the 1st, these are going to be available for pre-order because these are January's club yarns that will now be available for pre-order. So we have the Denizen was called On Silent Wings, and it's supposed to be reminiscent of a snow owl, because on the card that we sent out, we talked about how, I think actually it was a barn owl that was outside our window screaming at 3 o'clock in the morning one time, but it was loud. So
this is a really good neutral because it's got gray and brown, reddish brown speckles. So it'd be great as a neutral.
Yeah. And it's a light speckle.
Yeah.
So that it's mostly the creamy white and then speckles here and there. Our Disney yarn was Pocahontas. So this is the Pocahontas yarn. And then our favorite book was, very fittingly,
our favorite book,
The 10,000 Doors of January. And we looked at the cover and decided we didn't want to do the dark black. So what we did was we took all the other colors from it,
right,
and put it into a skein of yarn. It is beautiful. I can't wait to put this to work with this one. We haven't had a chance to do it yet, but this is just so pretty.
It's like a peachy pink.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And against the green. Yeah, my God, I love pink and green together.
Green. Who knew?
All right, so the other thing that we have available starting, this is available now, but it's not going to ship until the 8th. We have been dyeing mini skeins to go with each of our Disney yarns. So we have a very limited number of mini skein kits for the first 5 colors. You have, our first color was Mickey Mouse, then Peter Pan, then Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove, and the 4th was Pocahontas. And the 5th is February's yarn, so that you will not know until you actually get the kit, because we can't show it until the people who are part of our Disney Club get theirs.
So we have some fingering and some DK.
Very limited numbers, because
Right.
it's just, this is just a one-off thing.
Yeah, we won't be redying them. So.
Right. So if you are interested in doing this, get them now, because they will go quickly. But as I said, they won't ship until February 8th, because that's when the Disney yarn goes out for the Disney Club, and we don't want anybody getting it we don't want anybody getting February's color ahead of the people who are paying for the Disney Club.
However, it's next week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that far away.
It's already dyed.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. I can't wait to send it to you guys.
It may be it's my favorite of the 5.
Right. So this is, these are the first 4. Poor Pocahontas is getting stuck in the back. You can't see her. Okay, so those are the first 4, and then the 5th one will be here. So those are available now, but as we said, very limited number. Some DK, some fingering.
Right.
Okay. All right. That, I think, is all the stuff that I brought up. So,
Okay.
anything else?
I don't think so. The March clubs will open on the 1st
Right.
to pre-order your March clubs, but we'll get into those. Will be open for a couple of weeks, so
Yeah.
don't have to get into that right now.
But okay, so just the 3 clubs that we have are the Denizens of the Hollow. That gets shipped on the 1st of the month. Then we have the Disney yarn that gets shipped on the 8th, and then we have our favorite books or beautiful book covers, and that gets shipped on the 15th.
Right.
Okay. So, okay. Alrighty. Shall we talk about sweaters?
Sure.
Helen came up with this brilliant idea of seeing if we could knit a sweater, or finish a sweater in my case, in a month. So I set myself the task of finishing the body in 2 weeks.
Which
I
is
have
Thursday.
3 days left.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm going to make it. I'm going to get close, but I'm not sure I'm going to make it. However,
Yeah, I don't think I'll.
but maybe, but then I have a week for each of the sleeves, so that they may not take a week. They may take longer. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, it's not like somebody's going to come arrest us if we don't finish the sweater in a month.
Well, here's mine. I'm doing the honey
And
vodka
it's
lemonade.
not, this is, when I originally thought of the idea, it was, there would be dedicated times, because,
It's part of the job.
history lends itself that, I would actually take dedicated time in the middle of the day to just knit on the sweater. So obviously that doesn't happen. So this is right now my main focus of my crafting, my
Right.
hobby crafting time. So, yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll actually get to the point where we do allow ourselves time to knit. Anyway, I'm making the honey
But that's not so much allowing ourselves time. It's more, just the day goes and it's just like, oh, okay, well, that's not.
Yeah, look, it's just 4 o'clock in the afternoon
the way
already.
the days go. I mean,
Yeah,
it's 12:30 and we're just starting to podcast. And this was like the first thing to do today.
right. Okay.
Go. You may go. I will stop speaking.
I am making the honey vodka lemonade sweater by Baby Cocktails. So here it is. I am doing this in whimsical gourds.
It's gorgeous.
From our Witches Library collection. So here is where I was last week when I showed it.
You got a lot done.
I did. I got a lot done. So I mean, I may not get it done in the 2 weeks, but I did get a tremendous amount done there. So that's where I am. I have, I'm supposed to knit 10 inches down from the armhole, the armpit. I am at about 9.5 right now. I'm thinking I may go just a little bit further. I'm not sure. And then I think it's 2 inches of ribbing that will be at the bottom. So I am going to do a couple more rounds and see where I am, and then I probably will measure it tonight and see how I got through today and tonight and see where I am, and then decide if I start the ribbing or not. But as of right now, that's what it looks like.
This color Bring it up close.
Yeah, because it's not showing up. It's showing up darker brown, it seems, in the...
And you go through all the different shades of this orangey brown, because you've got the creamy, and then you go almost into like a honey mustard, and then into the orange, and then into the orangey brown. It is just...
It's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It really is. I am alternating every row, because this... you do not want all of a sudden it to be color blocking
Right.
in the middle of it. So yes, I am alternating skeins at the end of every row, and that's how it looks. So there it is.
It's beautiful.
It is. I love it. It's gorgeous. It's going to be so comfortable. Really, really, really comfortable.
I am doing the Fab Brioche cardigan, which is a bulky weight cardigan, and I am using DK held double. So last week, I was getting close to splitting for my sleeves. I have split for my sleeves, and knit this much beyond the sleeve.
This is such a gorgeous, gorgeous sweater.
This is...
Oh my God.
So I am, according to the pattern, I'm supposed to do about 19 inches down the center of the back before I start about 2 inches of rib. I tried this on this morning, and I'm about an inch or two from my natural waist. And I've got 17 inches. So if I go with the 19 inches, then I figure I'm going to get to my waist, and then it'll be 2 inches beyond. So it's just a matter of whether I want to go
a little bit longer
than
or not.
that.
When you first were talking about it, you were talking about it kind of longer.
No, I don't want it that long. I want to wrap it up, but I don't want it hanging over my rear.
Okay. All right.
So I know that.
Okay.
I want it above the rear. So
the yarn is Down a Narrow Path from one of our Halloween collections. And oh my God.
This is such a squishy sweater.
It is such a squishy sweater, but I love the colors.
Color is gorgeous. So we had 10 skeins that we had set aside. I have already put in 5 and 6. This is what I have left of 5 and 6. So I think what I'm going to do is she has you finish the body and the ribbing, and then she has you do the button band.
Okay.
And then the sleeves. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the sleeves first.
Okay.
And then in case I don't have enough for the button band, I can always do the button band in a contrast color.
Would you think about doing the ribbing and the button band in a different color? So say you did Mr. Carrisford and you just had the green going around the bottom and then up.
I could do
Would
that.
you consider that?
Yeah.
Because that might be kind of cool where you have something like Carrisford or Greenback books or something like that, and you have that as
I'm thinking of a sagey green.
The ribbing going around the bottom,
yeah,
and then the button band going up and around, and then the ribbing on your sleeves.
Because then I should definitely have enough, because this should probably get me to maybe the 2 inches.
Okay. And then you've got
that would
two
leave me
skeins for each of your sleeves.
which would be essentially a skein each for
Yeah.
each sleeve, so that that should be enough. Especially if I'm doing the ribbing of the sleeve, because then I do the ribbing of the sleeve.
In the green too, yeah.
So, yeah, maybe I'll do that.
Just a thought, you could also do it in Poison Apples, which is the red.
It all depends on what we have available.
I think we have some Greenback books.
Yeah, because I'm going to need at least 2 skeins.
Right.
So.
But yeah, no, I think it might be kind of cool to have the contrast down there.
Yeah, so that's probably what I'll do. Because I'm going to be concerned that I'm not going to have enough.
Yeah.
with the 10 skeins.
Now, but,
I mean, this thing eats yarn.
You were talking about how the sleeves are drop sleeves. So the sleeve is probably not going to be as long as a normal sleeve.
Right.
So it may not use as much yarn, but doing the brioche and everything,
yeah,
it is going through a lot. God, it's so beautiful.
It is. It's just... And when I tried it on, it's perfect. It's just this big,
exactly the way you wanted it.
squishy
Yeah.
cardigan. Yeah. So, Fab Brioche monochrome sweater. I'm supposed to finish the body in 2 weeks too. Probably not going to, but maybe I'll just sit and knit for the next 2 weeks. It goes fast.
Well, you know what? You can sit there and say, "It's my job.
Right.
This is my job."
I split for my sleeves on Saturday, I think.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can
So
see
you
how
put
much I've
on
done.
6 inches.
And yesterday we got hardly any knitting time. So,
Right. Okay. Cool.
So it does go. It does knit fast, while it inhales the yarn. But
I'm going to have to figure this out because I'm so in love with the sweater. I'm not going to be able to do it in that color, but I'm so
really
in love with the
easy.
sweater.
yeah,
It's just, it is absolutely perfect to, as you say, just wrap it around you
right.
and it's squish into it.
Go into a hermit stage.
Yeah.
And
Also fantastic for putting on top of something if you're running to the store.
yeah,
You know, it's just a little snazzy bit to
I will
going.
say, the loose brioche stitch, they catch on everything.
Oh, okay.
It's caught on my zipper. It's caught on the cat. Well, everything catches on the cat, but so you just have to be careful. You can usually, if you catch it in time, you can pull it the
Back
loose
in.
stitch. You
Yeah.
can pull it back in, but it
Damn,
does catch.
totally.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. On to our project that we're working on yesterday. Helen decided that she's sick and tired of having quilt tops just laying around, and we were going to do something about it.
It's been my whole thing since December, is finishing things before.
Yeah.
I finished my Battenberg, I finished a whole bunch of stuff knitting wise, and it was also, these were on the list to get these things finished before I can move on to new things. It's just like, get that off your shoulders,
Right.
and move on with a clean slate. So I have more quilt tops than I realized because we found some other ones yesterday. But I figured I had at least 6 quilt tops that are done
Right.
that just need to be quilted. And it goes back and forth because I'm afraid to quilt them. That's what it comes down to. Do I send them out to be quilted and spend the money to send them out to be quilted? Do I just suck it up and do it myself? Do I hand quilt? Do I blah, 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 blah?
Because the big thing is that we really like putting together the quilt tops. Quilting, not so much.
Well, it's more, I think it's based on yesterday, it's being unfamiliar.
Right.
We haven't done it in our new setup with our new tables and everything.
But we
that.
were, and I'm just working this through in my head now. We were quilting the pieces of a bag, and I was quilting pieces of another bag, and it's just, I don't want to do this. This is boring. But with this, it being a bigger piece, maybe it's because it's a bigger piece. I don't know.
Also, no, you're not quilting through that soft and stable. That soft and stable is a pain in the neck to sew.
That's true. That's very true.
Because this was much easier. And it's, the other thing is, then there's the decision making of how you're going to quilt it.
Right.
Once you've decided that you are going to quilt it, what are you going to do?
Let me just put it out there for us right now. It's straight lines.
Oh yeah, no, it's not free
basically
motion.
straight
It's just, are you going to go stitch in the ditch? Are you going to, go around a square? What are you going to do? So,
So what we did yesterday, so the other big thing is basting a quilt is not easy.
Right.
You need a lot of space. We are very blessed that we have not only a lot of space, we have an enormous dining room table.
Right.
That my parents got before they moved into this house over 50 years ago. So that this table has been in the family for a long time. Anyway, it's really, really good when you clear it off. You can baste a quilt on it.
Yeah.
It's a great table because it's really big.
And if you baste it properly, it makes the quilting part
Yes.
so much easier because
Yes.
you won't get your puckers. Hugo is just objecting to everybody being outside. But I mean, we basted these really well so that it was very easy to, you weren't getting stressed out because it was puckering or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
no, it worked out. It worked out really well. So, and I think one of the things was when we have done it before, we have laid the bottom piece, the backing on the table, sprayed it with the adhesive, placed the batting or the foam, the batting on the inside, straightened it up, then put the top on and spray basted that on. This time what we did was we put the batting flat on the table and sprayed that and then stretched the back over it, and that worked so much better.
It really did, yeah, because it's so much easier to smooth out the cotton fabric as opposed to trying to smooth out batting.
Right, and you don't find out that the puckers are there until you turn it over, and then you're trying to peel off the spray basting and that kind of thing and trying to put it back on again, and it's a mess. This way, we laid the batting out first, then put the backing on it. And what we do is we lay the batting, put the backing on it, fold it back, and start spraying from the middle out and then doing it that way.
Right.
And working together, the two of us, it worked out really, really well.
And we basted 2 quilts in probably what?
A half hour maybe? 20 minutes, half hour?
A half hour and an hour.
Yeah.
So that part, because that's another thing. It's just like, well, I don't want to baste today. It's going to take so long. I've got to clear the table, and it's always whiny.
It takes us longer to clear the table than it did to baste the quilts.
Right.
Because the amount of stuff that we can amass on a table in no time at all. Anyway, let me show you the quilts.
All right. We haven't bound them yet. That's coming up next. But these are both the Odyssey pattern. It's a Villa Rosa Designs pattern, and I made the tops last year, right about this time.
All right, so this is made. No, you did this at the beach, didn't you?
No, I did it here.
Okay.
But it was when we had the sewing machines down on the
table.
The dining room table.
Okay, so this is the Adelaide fabric that she used, and then the border is one of the hexy dots from Tula Pink. And the back is the lilac fairy dust.
Also Tula Pink.
So Helen had put together the quilt top, and this is the one that I quilted. I chose to do a 1/4 inch on either side of the squares. So I did a 1/4 inch
from the seams
on the inside all the way around of each of the squares. So what I did was I started up here and came straight down, going all the way. And since they lined up beautifully, I didn't have to worry about zigzagging or anything like that. It was just a straight line down. When I was done going up and down, then I turned it and did the cross pieces. And then for the border, I did a 1 inch channel. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
A 1 inch channel going across, and then a 1 inch channel going up and down. And then where it meets up at the corner, it's a 1 inch crosshatch.
You can kind of see it, but there you go on the back.
I love the way doing it this way really showcases these beautiful fabrics, because they're so lovely.
Sings to my soul.
Yeah.
This is my color palette.
This is just such a gorgeous, gorgeous collection of fabric, and it really showcases the fabrics.
It's a great quilt pattern.
Yes.
Because it's so easy to put together once you cut your squares. Yeah.
All right, so that's that one.
And then the one I quilted is also the Odyssey pattern. This is the From the Heart fabric by the Anita Durham. So I initially was thinking that I was going to do the same kind of quilting that Mary Beth was going to do, but I've been wondering what a channel quilting over an entire quilt would look like. So I wanted to try it. I like it very, very much. It's a very easy quilting to do because I've just done a 1-inch channel going horizontally across.
And she carried it through the border
borders
as well.
Yeah. So all I did was I started at the top doing 1 inch from the top and then straight down. So I'm gonna bind them, and what I'll do with the binding is I'm going to sew the binding to the front and then hand stitch it to the back.
So what I am going to do is I'm going to sew the binding to the front and hand this to Helen so she can hand stitch the back, because nope, I'm not doing that.
I did the same backing too. It's the lilac fairy dust.
And your border is all part of the...
It's all part of From the Heart.
From the Heart.
Yeah. It was just a very good day to know that you can do it.
Well, okay, so we started at...
It was like 2:30.
When we started sewing.
Yeah.
We basted in the morning and then we started sewing at about 2:30. And we were done by 5:30.
It was well before. It was a little bit before 5 because when I walked him afterwards.
Oh, right, okay.
And it was still light out when I was
Okay,
walking
so
him,
about 4:30, 4:45. So about a little over 2 hours
Yeah.
to do it. That's really not bad.
No. I mean,
they're smallish quilts,
but
but
they're it's 48 by 58.
okay.
About, so they're not baby quilts, but
No.
they're not queen size quilts either.
No,
So-
but and they were the perfect size to, really get our feet in, get it done.
Right.
That we can do this. This
Yeah.
is something that we can do, and we can do it relatively easily. Now we have the Baby Lock Jazz 2 machines that worked really, really well.
And one of the greatest things about the Jazz 2 is the throat is big.
That's why we
Yeah.
got it. We spent a lot of money on these machines, but we got it because it has the nice wide throat. So for those of you that are not sewers, the throat is the space between the piece that comes up and over like that. It's the space between the piece that comes up this and the needle that comes down over here.
Pretty much your working space from the needle to to the right of the needle.
Right.
So that you get, I think it's 18, maybe 12 inches. But it's an extra wide throat space so that it's made for quilting.
Right. So when you're doing quilting, you have to roll it, but you still have enough space that you can work it through. We have tried to do this with smaller machines, and shoulders and back are aching by the time you're done. And
It's totally possible, but it's a lot more working things through. Also, we have sewing machine tables where the sewing machine is recessed so that it's flat top.
Yeah.
You are not having to go up and over the lip of the sewing machine. You're just pushing the quilt right through, which makes a huge difference.
Yes, it really, really does. I put in my journal that I was really very, very pleasantly surprised that my shoulders and my back did not hurt at all after doing this. And there have been times where we were working on things where my shoulders were killing me. So yeah, no, this is a good setup for us right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Expect lots of quilts.
Hopefully. Well, we have 2 each that have been ironed and are ready to get the backings ready to go, and then we're going to base them and finish them. One of them is my Alice quilt that I made 2 years ago that I'm so excited to finish.
I have those 2, then I have 2 more that I don't even know where they are.
We just have to find them.
And I have to figure out what I'm doing with my mandolin quilt, which is my hand-pieced English paper piecing.
Right.
So
that's a big one.
But I may just go, I'm going with, my whole motto of done is better than perfect.
Okay.
So I may just run it through with a straight line channel.
Okay.
Or I may decide to hand quilt it. I don't know. We'll see.
See how it goes. But
it is not doing anybody any good folded up on the bench. Nobody gets to see it.
And how are we going to have our bathtub full of quilts if we don't finish them?
Right.
We got to get them done. So anyway, we have 2 that are done and quilted and 4 more ready in the channel, ready to go.
Right.
All right. Okay, so I think that is just about it because I have to run an errand and Helen has to edit this. So we are going to get going. Also, there are some furry creatures that are waiting for their lunch.
And we have to twisting yarn.
Yep, we're going to be twisting yarn and sending out Patreon, and the denizens are going out.
As far as Patreon yarn members are concerned, the ones that you had 3 dragons to choose from. The ones that chose the rainbow dragon, we had
there was a mishap. It's
the first time in a long time that the yarn was just abandoned. There's no coming back.
It just came out all wrong.
It came out all wrong. The
yarn didn't set. The color didn't set.
The colors didn't set.
We were washing. I mean, we washed that thing like 6 times.
Right.
And it just kept bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. So it's just.
So we are going back to the drawing board, and yours is coming just a little bit late because we're waiting for the yarn to get here, and then we will dye it and send it out early next week.
So for the rainbow dragon people, I'm very, very sorry, but it is coming. I promise it's coming. Also, we are going to be picking the next 3 pictures that you guys get to choose. So if you are one of our Patreon members, you guys get to vote on what the patron color will be. If you are a patron, then you get to place your vote and see which will be the color that we choose for next month.
Right.
Or actually for this, no, next month. It is still only January. However, in January, we loved all 3 of the pictures so much that we dyed yarn for each of them.
And that's not going to happen anymore.
No, it's only 1.
However, once we send them out, then we will put pictures in Patreon of the yarns that went with the pictures.
Right.
Because the snow dragon and the succulent dragon, they're gorgeous.
Oh my God.
They're
so beautiful.
Makes up for the disaster that was there.
We know what we did wrong, and we know how to fix it. So it's going to be okay. We just have to do it again. But anyway. Okay, so November yarns. Last chance today and tomorrow. That's Winter Solstice, Phineas the Deer, and Peter Pan. They are going into the vault as of tomorrow. January club yarns are going to be available on Wednesday. They are on Silent Wings, Pocahontas, and the 10,000 Doors of January. These are all going to be available for pre-order on all different bases coming on Wednesday, the beginning of the month. In the beginning of February, is it Thursday?
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Tomorrow is Wednesday, yes, on Thursday, sorry, on Thursday. Available right now are the mini skeins sets for the first 5 months of the Disney yarn. We did not do it for the denizens or for the books, just Disney. But Mickey is down, hold on. So these are available in DK and fingering, but very limited quantities, and they will not be redyed. So that's those. Yeah, that's it, I think. Okay, we hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week.
Go forth and create.
And we will be back on Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Live. We had a couple of people leave us comments saying that they were so happy to see that we were doing a live podcast. We do it almost every Friday. So if you are available and you would like to come join us, you can come have lunch with us and we will chat because it's more of a chatting with you guys kind of podcast rather than us just talking.
Right.
So there's lots of interaction and it's lots of fun.
Hopefully I will be hand stitching binding as we do it.
Okay, there you go. I have a project that I hope to be working on also. So you'll have to tune in on Friday to see what it is. Okay, have a wonderful week, everybody.